लाखों दरूद और लाखों सलाम, लाखों दरूद और लाखों सलाम जिन्नों.
Really, by having that mindset, we're blocking ourselves, because I ask the question to myself first and often, well, if we know it, why are we not practicing it? And so really we should attend this gathering with the analogy you must have heard of an empty glass. If we have an empty glass, then the water can be poured into it. If it's already full of knowledge, then really you're not going to benefit tonight. And we all know that obviously knowledge without action really is, useless in a sense, because why are we not acting upon it? And so therefore that's why we have that mindset when we come into the house of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that it's like I've not heard this before, because really if I heard it before and understood it, I would have acted upon it. So there's really some kind of deficiency that when we attended previously, we may have heard elements of the nasiyah being given, but simply we've not acted upon it. And often when again we attend any kind of bayan, we think it's a general bayan. Either it's aimed at someone who's far more pious than me, or it's aimed at someone maybe who's not as pious as me. And really don't think this is a general bayan, think it is aimed specifically at you.
लाखों दरूद और लाखों सलाम, लाखों दरूद और लाखों सलाम जिन्नों मलाइक तेरे गुलाम, जिन्नों मलाइक तेरे गुलाम, लाखों दरूद और लाखों सलाम.
There are always lessons which are aimed deliberately at us, so we should have that mindset in that regard. Now many of you will know that the Blessed Teacher has returned from the sacred lands. They went on Umrah and performed a number of Umrahs, and those who attended, including myself, we learnt many lessons on such a trip. Now, often we might think we're just going there for the ritualistic Umrah. We'll tick the boxes, we've been around 7 times, we read the certain du'as at the particular points, as he said. But really, I'm sure those who attended will agree that it really was an enlightening Umrah, in that it was a spiritual Umrah. And that's really something, again, we can apply into our normal lives. That are we reading Salah because it's just a ritualistic action that we do 5 times a day and we've ticked the box, we'll just move on? Or are we really going to get into the spiritual Salah, because that's where the benefit lies? Otherwise, as you said, it's a tick box exercise, and I mean, who are we trying to fool? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is all knowing, all seeing, all hearing. He will know the quality of our Salah, and we all often complain that as soon as we say Allahu Akbar, the mind starts wandering. And so the teacher will obviously be presenting nasiyah about this blessed trip and the many lessons that we all can learn from it. Doesn't mean that because you didn't go on the trip you can't learn lessons from it. It really is a lesson for not only those who attended, but those who didn't attend as well. You will really benefit from the lessons of the Umrah. We'll obviously first begin with as we're then gathering, the Tilawat al-Quran, and I ask Muhammad Abdul Aziz Dabak to begin the Tilawat. Jazakallah khair.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. لا أقسم بيوم القيامة ولا أقسم بالنفس اللوامة. أيحسب الإنسان أن لن نجمع عظامه بلى قادرين على أن نسوي بنانه بل يريد الإنسان ليفجر أمامه يسأل أيان يوم القيامة فإذا برق البصر وخسف القمر وجمع الشمس والقمر يقول الإنسان يومئذ أين المفر كلا لا وزر إلى ربك يومئذ المستقر ينبأ الإنسان يومئذ بما قدم وأخر بل الإنسان على نفسه بصيرا ولو ألقى معاذيرا لا تحرك به لسانك لتعجل به إن علينا جمعه وقرآنه فإذا فرقناهم فاتبع قرآنه ثم إن علينا بيانه كلا بل تحبون العاجلة وتذرون الآخرة وجوه يومئذ ناظرة إلى ربها ناظرة ووجوه يومئذ باصرة تظن أن يفعل بها فاقرة كلا إذا بلغت التراقي كلا إذا بلغت التراقي وقيل من راق وقيل من راق وظن أنه الفراق والتفت الساق بالساق إلى ربك يومئذ المساق فلا صدق ولا صلى ولكن كذب وتولى صدق الله العظيم.
Jazakallah khair for that. We're now going to play a documentary about the recent Umrah trip. So that should be ready on the screens and ready to play. So perhaps we can just now focus on that, and maybe if you can move yourself slightly so you can see the screens properly.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين أما بعد. Alhamdulillah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has blessed us with infinite blessings, and amongst those blessings is enabling us to visit these sacred lands of Haramain, Sharifain, the Arabian lands. And especially this time, the brothers and sisters who came on this trip, they visited many places which normally we do not visit. One of those, obviously, except the Haramain, they are the greatest, the Haram Kaaba and Masjid al-Nabawi, obviously, without any doubt. Another place which we visited was the blessed Muqam and Mazar of Sayyidina Abdullah ibn Abbas radiyallahu ta'ala anhu. The Masjid ibn Abbas is in Taif, where he is buried, and Sayyidina Abdullah ibn Abbas radiyallahu anhu is the cousin of Prophet ﷺ, and is one of the greatest scholars actually of this ummah, as the Prophet ﷺ prayed for him that Allah give him wisdom and the knowledge of the interpretation of Quran, of the book. And he settled in Taif actually in his last days, and he departed from the physical world as well there. Second place we visited also was where Rasulullah ﷺ spent his first 4 years of his life in the Bani Sa'd area, which is after Taif. Bani Sa'd is where the house of Sayyida Halima radiyallahu ta'ala anha was, and here Rasulullah ﷺ stayed with his foster mother, brothers and sisters like Sayyida Shayma, who was 5-6 years older than him, and he alayhi salatu wasalam sallallahu alayhi wasallam stayed there for 4 years, and his memory was always actually fresh about that. Whenever he met Sayyida Halima radiyallahu anha or Sayyida Shayma after the Fath Makkah, he honored them greatly and refreshed the memories which he spent, and appreciated their khidmah and service. Another place which we visited was when Rasulullah ﷺ visited Taif, and these people did not respond positively, rather they ridiculed and they tortured the Prophet ﷺ, and he came and rested in a place, in a garden of grapes which belonged to the Quraysh, and there Rasulullah ﷺ prayed to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala jalla wa ala, and he was given the option that if he commands, the angel will destroy them. He ﷺ did not command, but rather said that I expect that their generations will actually embrace Islam. And truly the city of Taif today is because of the barakah of the dua of Rasulullah ﷺ. So there is a masjid now called Masjid Addas. Addas was one of the slaves of the Quraysh. When he saw Rasulullah ﷺ injured and wounded, the Quraysh, they sent Addas with a bunch of grapes and presented to the Prophet ﷺ. And in that entire journey, it was Sayyidina Addas who embraced Islam radiyallahu ta'ala anhu. So that masjid and that garden we visited, and after just getting out of that place is the old mosque called Masjid Ali, where Sayyidina Ali karramallahu wajhul kareem gave dars in that masjid once or more. So that was the place. And also very, you may say, in the about 100 or 150 kilometers from Taif, the place after Abha, which has cool weather, which is a very high place. You can see clouds as well, that they go below you on mountains. There the great companion Sayyidina Jarir bin Abdullah radiyallahu anhu is buried, and his old ancient mosque still is preserved, and he was the great companion of the Prophet ﷺ, and Rasulullah ﷺ loved him very much. And also we visited the Ashab-e Badr and the plain of Badr, where the first battle took place, where the Khandaq took place, Shuhadai Uhud, especially Sayyidina Amir Hamza radiallahu ta'ala anhu, and other mosques like Masjid al-Qiblatayn, Masjid Quba, which is one of the first mosques in Islam, and that's where I am sitting now as well. This was a garden belonged to Sayyidina Kulsum bin Hadam radiallahu anhu, and Rasulullah alayhi salatu wasalam stayed for 2 days in this house which belonged to Sayyidina Kulsum bin Hadam, and he used to pray in the place where I am sitting now. And these stones also signify the Prophet ﷺ seating, and Sayyidina Abu Bakr Siddiq and Sayyidina Kulsum bin Hadam. So this is, and there is, he ﷺ did wudu and drank water from Bi'r Azq, which is just behind me, the well, and prayed here for few days before Masjid Quba actually was, foundation was laid down. So this garden also belonged to Sayyidina Kulsum bin Hadam, and now people can visit and do ziyarah. Similarly, we also visited the beach front or the sea front, Yambu and other area where the Sahaba Ikram did Hijra, the first and the second Hijra to Ethiopia and Habasha. Sayyidina Usman bin Affan and the daughter of Rasulullah Sayyida Ruqayya radiallahu ta'ala anha, and then Sayyidina Jafar Tayyar radiallahu anhu, they returned. So that sea front we also visited and saw the sea and the beach as well there. And then Alhamdulillah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala blessed us with many other places. There's the house of Sayyidina Imam Zainul Abidin radiallahu ta'ala anhu in Madinatul Munawwara, and Sayyidina Urwa radiallahu anhu, the great companion, his house, and many other places. And every place it refreshes the memories of the Prophet ﷺ, Sirah, and the short 10 years he lived in this area of Madinatul Munawwara, but the memories are everlasting, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala enable us and yourself actually to live by worshipping purely and sincerely Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and loving and following the Prophet Islam, and serving and being merciful to the ummah and the creation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Jazakumullah sana jaza. Subhanaka Allahumma bihamdik, nashhadu an la ilaha illa ant, nastaghfiruka wa natubu ilayk.
Jazakallah khair for that documentary, and that really is a very brief snapshot of the Umrah visit. And really, after the blessed nasiyah and zikr and dua today, we will be blessed with doing ziyarah of the relics from the holy Kaaba inshallah ta'ala here. So that's something to again look forward to at the end. And we'll now move on to the Nath as we await the arrival of our blessed teacher.
इश्क़ नबी में
پہ بلوایا ہے وہ بھی اتنی رات گئے شہر مدینہ یاد آیا ہے وہ بھی اتنی رات گئے عشق نبی میں دل گرما ہے وہ بھی اتنی رات گئے اللہ اللہ باغ عدن ہے اور معراج کا منظر ہے اللہ اللہ باغ عدن ہے اور معراج کا منظر ہے سارا زمانہ ٹھہر گیا ہے سارا زمانہ ٹھہر گیا ہے وہ بھی اتنی رات گئے شہر مدینہ یاد آیا ہے وہ بھی اتنی رات گئے عشق نبی میں دل گرما ہے وہ بھی اتنی رات گئے بیت اللہ کے چوکھٹ پر ہے دست دعا پھیلائے نبی بیت اللہ کے چوکھٹ پر ہے دست دعا پھیلائے نبی رب سے عمر کو مانگ رہا ہے رب سے عمر کو مانگ رہا ہے وہ بھی اتنی رات گئے شہر مدینہ یاد آیا ہے وہ بھی اتنی رات گئے عشق نبی میں دل گرما ہے وہ بھی اتنی رات گئے شہر مدینہ یاد آیا ہے وہ بھی اتنی رات گئے عشق نبی میں دل گرما ہے وہ بھی اتنی رات گئے
بسم اللہ الرحمن الرحیم الحمد للہ رب العالمین الرحمن الرحیم مالک یوم الدین والصلاة والسلام على رسول اللہ وعلى آلہ وأصحابہ اجمعین اما بعد فاعوذ باللہ من الشیطان الرجیم بسم اللہ الرحمن الرحیم يا أيها الإنسان ما غرك بربك الكريم الذي خلقك فسواك فعدلك في أي صورة ما شاء ركبك كلا بل تكذبون بالدين وإن عليكم لحافظين كراما كاتبين يعلمون ما تفعلون إن الأبرار لفي نعيم وإن الفجار لفي جحيم يصلونها يوم الدين صدق الله العظيم اللهم صل وسلم وبارك على سيدنا ونبينا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه. السلام علیکم ورحمۃ اللہ وبرکاتہ. MashaAllah, you were watching some of the sacred places and sacred land, and one reflects upon it, on Umrah and those places and things, and Anbiya Ikram and others. Many people generally, they think, why we need all that, all those teachings, why could we not just get on with our lives as other people, other non-Muslims, disbelievers, other people are working, marrying, and just living, taking life as it comes, enjoying whatever one can, and then we can just do that. Shaitan puts these things in people's mind from the very beginning of time when human beings existed, that I can also just go about life as others I see. Whatever desires they want to fulfill, they do, and things. And what is all this about? Why do we need that? The answer is very, very clear, that okay, you can go and enjoy. If you can continue enjoying, and if after some time end is going to be someone's kidney fails when they go to a certain age, someone gets old age diseases, someone dies in accident, someone is struck with cancer, someone is struck with corona and things. When these harsh and realities a person sees, if this was not there, okay, you can enjoy as well. But the problem is that you tell me, or all those people tell me, okay, I say you enjoy whatever you can do, but will you be able to live forever? Will you be able to enjoy forever? Can you use these blessings, whatever you have? Let's say you have more money, you can buy 10 beds. Can you sleep on 10 beds? Have you got such long life? And also, the intellect says that if someone gives you £1 billion and then says to you that, well, this is £1 billion, but you think about that is, there is a catch in there. And the catch is that it can just vanish anytime. After 1 minute, after 1 hour, tomorrow it will just be zero. And on this side, it's not £1 billion, it is £10,000, but this is going to stay with you. You can use it, it's never going to go away. You can make transaction, you can buy something, this 10,000 is yours, it's never going to go. But this is 1 billion, but you never know. It is definitely, that is for sure, is just going to vanish. A person who have little bit of intellect, they will never go for the other option, because they know today or tomorrow I will not be able to use it, and it's just going to, I'm going to look and my count will be zero. And this is 10,000, but it is going to actually last me forever. Whenever I want to use, I want to buy something, it will be with me. So that is the example of this worldly life Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives in the Quran. وَاضْرِبْ لَهُمْ مَثَلَ الْحَيَاةِ الدُّنْيَا. Allah says the example of this worldly life in the Quran, one of the examples he gives of the rain, and when the rain comes and actually the water comes and it flows. But for easy to make you understand is like that what I am saying to you, that okay, the treasure, the £1 billion you have, but it's going to go away. It's just going to disappear. It's like you have a bank account, you have a lot of money in there, but it can just disappear at any time. Like it happened with many internet businesses, currencies, shares. You know, sometimes people wake up and or the company is gone, or the shares has gone, or the currency has doomed, or whatever. Imagine this is reality. That is the reality of this life, this worldly life. Reality of your money, your children, your land, and your friends, because as soon as actually the button of death is pressed, the screen glows blank completely. Finished. No matter, this is my wife, this is my children, this is my husband, this is my car, these are my friends, this is my party, this is my house, this is the land I own, this is the friend, this was my bank account, and this is my businesses. Just with one matter, that it all goes blank. Now, this is something which no person in the human being can deny, even though they are atheists. They can't say we are not going to die. Everything is not going to vanish. They already got no idea where it came from, so they don't know where it goes. But yes, they know it goes away. So I'm saying that if this was not the case, okay, you do whatever you like and you do whatever others are doing and think that would have been fine and live forever and enjoy forever, that's fine. But when the reality is that it can just go, people are coming to in terms with coronavirus that we have got it under control or somehow it has the effect of less. Imagine we have not conquered death yet, nor is we are going to do that. We can do that. Coronavirus can be killed, finished, or whatever. Other disease, cancer can come to an end, a cure can be found. AIDS cure can be found. Cure of death cannot be found. Cure of death is only that you establish the relationship with the one who created death and who is al-Hayyul Qayyum. He has the cure, meaning that your life goes on with comfort, it carries on. Bal ahya'un 'inda rabbihim yurzaqun. Allah says these people, they are living even after death and they are being fed and they are enjoying and they are continuing with the life. So it's as though death does not come to them, but it comes like when you sleep. Every day you sleep. Every day you sleep and you wake up. That's how death is for a believer. That he also have a sleep and then he wakes up. And there is enjoyment, there is pleasure. There is only more pleasure after, not less, actually. So for him, death is not there as such, meaning as for the other person. For other means destruction. For other means completely pain. So, what were you saying about the place where Kaaba Sharif, where Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam, others and all other. All that we need is because we need to find a solution about these matters, that what happens when everything vanishes away. We want to do something about it. We want to live on. It's not matter. No one is going to find the solution for death. As Allah said in the Quran, يَحْسَبُ أَنَّ مَالَهُ أَخْلَدَهُ. There are people who think their wealth and technology is going to make them live forever. They're trying to find solutions. Since very beginning they've been trying to find. solution. You see, the longest life from Jinnat, Shaitan has, and he knows he's going to die as well. Thousands and thousands. We have not found, or the other people maybe cannot live up to 1,000 years or 10,000 years. But he's living for hundreds and thousands of years, but still it's a failure. So even though if there was anyone amongst human beings who found the solution, who found the mystery, yeah, I can live 100,000 years, still it's a failure because it's going to vanish no matter after 100,000 years, like it's going to happen with Shaitan. That's how it is. But Allah Azza wa Jal said in Surah Al-Humaza that there are people, يَحْسَبُ أَنَّ مَالَهُ الَّذِي جَمَعَ مَالَهُ عَدَّدَهُ. They do accumulate wealth and they keep the count of it. Oh, we have become richest person in the family or in the country or in the world, and they say, oh, yeah, I am worth 5 billion pounds, I am worth 10 billion pounds. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says they think their wealth will make them live forever through whatever technology, or they can think they can invest and get certain medicine, certain health benefits, certain technology, certain others, or they can go on Mars or planet, no matter which galaxy they go to. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, أَيْنَمَا تَكُونُوا يُدْرِكُمُ الْمَوْتِ. Wherever you will be, death will come to you. So when we cannot escape these things, believer, non-believer, and they know, then we should face reality head on, not closing our eyes, like shutting out like a pigeon shuts eyes when sees the cat, thinking the cat is no more there. Death is not going to go away. You can turn your blind eye, yeah, I am enjoying everything. But you know, every person, family, they will know someone has passed away, someone has this failure, someone has, cell deformity, someone has cancer. Oh, they are all means. They are all, you may say, means actually which come actually towards actually death. But even though you find cure of these things, you won't find cure of death. Death cure is only, as I said, to have a relationship with Allah Jalla Majduhu, the creator of death, who can even give death to death and who can give life from death. For him, it's not a matter at all difficult. So that's why what you were saying, that is the Anbiya Ikram, Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam came to teach us. So very briefly now, I will just touch upon what you saw in the documentary. But firstly, I wanted to mention to you to clear your mind. Someone might say, oh, let me do whatever I like, Okay, do if you're not going to die. If you're not going to be ill, if you're not going to age, if no loss is coming to you, if you're immune from all disease, if you're immune from all accidents, all actually mishaps. But when the reality is, at the end, the doctor, the hospital will say as well, please pray for him or take him home, have some good on their phone. Hello, yes, he's got only 2-3 days. Call the family and just see him dying. That is the thing. If that's the case, then why not actually come waken up to the reality, how things are going. So, very briefly now, actually just touching upon those things, places which are, firstly you saw the Kaaba Sharif. The Kaaba signifies the purpose of life, because there is the Hajar al-Aswad, there is the Maidan Arafat, which Allah Azza wa Jal brought me and you. The Quran says, and in the tafsir, our spirits were brought there in that vicinity and introduced to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that you are alastu bi rabbikum, you've not created yourself and you cannot sustain yourself forever. And that's me and you know we can't live forever. We know we have not created ourselves. So that was, the reality was made clear that you have a very, very golden opportunity of a lifetime of existence, that you can live forever, you can rule forever, you can be the king of your own kingdom, bigger than this world, and in the company of the Creator and the company of Anbiya. You have this opportunity, oh the spirits, but you will have to prove that you qualify for that. There's certain qualification to enter those kingdom, that you need to be good person. We said, yes, Ya Rabbal Alameen, we recognize you are our Lord, you have created, you are sustainer. Yes, we are ready for the test. That is the Kaaba Sharif and Madani Arafah and Mount Arafah, they all signify. And Kaaba refers to that. It actually direction, gives you direction. When we do Salah, which we are facing Qibla, so that's a sign, it gives a direction of life, that what is the purpose of life, why we have been created. That it gives the lesson, the covenant. And it also then shows how to fulfill that covenant. How? Round. Tawaf is showing with the whole the body, that your body, your life should be revolving around the command of Allah, as though you were going around the house of Allah. That's how your life, no matter where you are, the center should be, what does Allah Azza wa Jal, my Creator, wants from me, and live your life like that. Those 7 circumambulation refers to all your body, mind, heart and soul actually orbiting, like earth is going around the sun, you going around the command of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The Kaaba signifies that. The sa'i between Safa and Marwa, when you run and walk, that signifies that you need to put effort. It's not just simple as saying I believe and then things are going to just happen by themselves. You have to do mujahada, you have to put effort, you have to do some struggle. Sa'i means struggle. Sa'i, basically the literal meaning of sa'i is struggle. Koshish, trying, striving, that's the meaning of sa'i. So, purpose of life, how to fulfill that purpose, plus you have to also do effort. And then finally, what does the people who go to, they shave their head or cut their hair, that is sign of rebirth. Because as your newborn babies, when they're born, on the 7th day, their heads are shaved off because they are newborn. So that person also have a spiritual rebirth. Now you are a newborn, like a newborn has a good heart, now you are that person. That is the, very, very briefly, what you would learn from the Kaaba and the vicinity of the Kaaba and then many other things. In Medina Sharif, what you learn, one thing, that if you cannot fulfill the commands of Allah, if you are struggling because you have a bad environment, bad people around you, you should migrate from them. You should do a migration. Medina Sharif signifies Hijra. Hijra means going from one place for the other to save one's deen, to convey the message of deen, and to live one's deen. So maybe you are in that situation as well, because Muslims were there, as you've seen in the documentary. Firstly they did migrate, they were to Habasha, to Abyssinia. Why? Sayyidina Usman ibn Affan, the Prophet ﷺ's own daughter, Sayyida Ruqayya radiyallahu ta'ala anha. Imagine in those times, out of fear of their life and to convey the message, they're just going, know where they're going as such actually, to the beach and to the seashore and just getting on the ship in no facilities on the ship. They were like, you may say, trade ships, and going through an unknown land, unknown people with a different religion. Why? To safeguard. To safeguard their deen, their life forever. Safeguarding deen means you are safeguarding your forever life. It's simple as that. It's your greatest treasure. So they went there. So it's a lesson for us as well. If you think your friends around you are not good people, if you think the environment, you should change that environment. You should change those cultural visits and the entertainment and the social interactions which you have, which are keeping you trenched, which are keeping you down to shaitanic influence and bad migration. Medina Sharif message is migration, Hijra. Leave those idols and those evil people and that environment. Create a good environment for you. Also, you heard that when Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, immediately you seen that place where it's called the place of Quba, where the Masjid Quba is, but beside that you've seen that the garden of Sayyidina Kulsum bin Hadam radiallahu ta'ala anhu. That gives a great lesson to us, that soon as the Prophet ﷺ came, there were two tribes living from many, many centuries in that area, called Aus and Khazraj. Fundamentally, they were one, but then they were obviously over centuries, then their clans changed, and basically two tribes. Initially, they came from Yemen because there was some famine or flood, whatever. They moved to this area, and they were in hundreds and thousands of people. And Aus and Khazraj were basically inhabited all that area, big. What happened was that one tribe was becoming more stronger. So the tribal leader of the other tribe, his name was Asad bin Zurara. He was the leader of Aus, a big tribe, big clan. He went to Mecca to get help from Walid bin Utbah, his friend, to get help from him for people or some actually money or whatever to overcome the other clan, other tribe. So when he went there, he heard about the Prophet ﷺ giving the message at the very beginning. He said, "Who is this man?" Walid bin Utbah said, "Yeah, this is a man from Quraysh, from us." And he said he is a prophet of Allah. Walid bin Utbah didn't become Muslim at that time. But Asad bin Zurara, he said, "Yeah, I want to listen to this man, what he said," because Asad bin Zurara was a monotheist person. He was not worshipping idols anyway. So he listened, he heard what the Prophet ﷺ saying. He went there for help to get for his tribe, but now he found a person who is saying, "I'm a prophet." And that was Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. And he believed, he became Muslim. Imagine he went for something else, and he got actually to become a Sahabi, because he had some good inside. So he came back, he propagated the message of Islam, and his tribe, many people entered Islam. Now came the time after some year, Rasulullah ﷺ came from Makkah Sharif, and where he stopped was the Quba area. That was the center of the other tribe, who was the enemy of the tribe of Aus, Khazraj. So here is Prophet ﷺ. There is no Masjid of Quba yet. He lived in the house, which you seen in the documentary, for some days. Some says 2 days, some say 20 days, with different riwayat. And he prayed in the place which you see myself sitting there, actually like the old Masjid Nabawi. He prayed there for those days. He did wudu in that well, Beirul Izq. And it's a blessed place where the prophetic presence was there. Now here, those stones which you saw, one big stone in the middle, then two stones at the side, that is the place signifies where the Prophet of Islam was sitting or standing still. On one side, the stone signifies where Sayyidina Abu Bakr Siddiq, radiallahu anhu, on one side, the owner of the garden, whose house and whose land it was, Kulsum bin Hadam, radiallahu ta'ala anhu. Now, that garden is called Bustanul Mustazil. The garden Mustazil. Why is it called Mustazil? Mustazil means shade. Zil in Urdu as well is used, in Arabic as well. Zil means shade. What happened was, when the Prophet ﷺ used to sit on that place, there were many people around him. But Sayyidina Abu Bakr Siddiq radiallahu anhu, he had a special relationship with Rasulullah alayhi salatu, and Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam had a special relationship with Sayyidina Abu Bakr Siddiq. So yes, the others were there, but when the Prophet ﷺ was talking and blessing, uttering his blessed words, or sitting in that masjid, when the sun was shining at the noon, or actually before noon, Sayyidina Abu Bakr Siddiq radiallahu anhu, with his own chadar and own cloth, mantle, he used to shade Prophet ﷺ from the shade of the sun. So because of that, his act, that garden is still called the garden of shading, Mustazil, the garden in which shade was done for the Prophet ﷺ. So the garden's name is based upon adab of Rasul ﷺ, the love that he did not tolerate that even the sun's rays are touching the Prophet ﷺ and causing him discomfort. So here that scene was there, Sayyidina Abu Bakr Siddiq, Sayyidina Kulsum and Prophet Islam was there, and Sayyidina Abu Bakr Siddiq standing and shading. Now the lesson for us is there, this is the enemy tribe of the other tribe. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam happened to land and come firstly there where Tala al-Badru alayna min Saniyat al-Badai, those mountains, hills, that is the place there. So here Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam says, while sitting there, he said, no, this is an enemy, from 100 years they are enemy. They killed hundreds of people. Someone's sons have been killed, someone's father has been killed, someone's brothers have been killed. What a big feud, animosity. Now the Prophet ﷺ said, sitting in Khazraj, in the garden of Kulsum bin Hadam radiallahu anhu, he said, call Asad bin Zurara, I want to say something. Now that was a big shock to all living, because they were enemies, they killed each other. Now this, when this was said, they said, one of them says that, Ya Rasulullah, we will be killed if he comes here. People will kill him, because there is definitely 100% they'll kill him. There will be big fitna, big fasad. Now this is what Islam teaches as well. Sometimes many people who do Umrah, but they're not doing sulah, reconciling with what they have fallen out with someone due to some family matter, some clan matter, some election matter, some rishta matter, whatever they're doing. But they are not actually untying that knot of bughd, of the animosity. They're still not. Even the Imam says, the Shaykh says, come please. They still say, okay, I respect the Imam, I respect the Shaykh, I respect this. But no, I can't get on with these people. No, I'm not coming together. ठीक है जी, मैं आपका बड़ा एहतराम करता हूँ, लेकिन इस बंदे के साथ नहीं मैं चल सकता. That is how we are doing as well, on a very small scale. That was a bigger scale, because big tribes of that land fighting for decades each other. Now the situation is very mysterious in a way that Prophet Islam is saying, call him, and the people there, they are enemy. Some have become Muslims, some are not Muslim as well in that tribe yet. So they say that, Ya Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he will be killed. Prophet Islam said, because this was also a custom at that time, he said, is there anyone who can give him protection? Because this was the custom, if anyone says, oh, that person is under my protection, any tribal leader, then no one would actually bother him. Now, because they were enemy and they've killed many people amongst each other, even the Muslims who were sitting there, they said, Allah and His Messenger can give him protection. Prophet ﷺ said, no, you will give protection. Allah does protect. I also protect. But they were, in actual fact, they were saying that we are not going to, Allah will want this good. But Prophet ﷺ said, no, amongst you, you yourself are going to him. This is Iman, this is belief. That hundreds of years of animosity, as soon as Rasulullah ﷺ said this, they stood up, they said, yes, we give protection to Asad bin Zurara. He is under our protection. No one can touch him. He is our brother. Then the Prophet Islam called Asad bin Zurara, and this was the sulh of Aus and Khazraj, a century-old animosity and killing and fighting has been finished just by Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam coming there actually in the first few days when he came from actually Makkah Sharif. That was the place which you saw, that was the stone which signifies the sulh of Aus and Khazraj. So here it gives a lesson to us that we should also do sulh with people, and we should not only be ourselves on that footing, but also bringing others together as well. Always believer always joins ties, joins people, brings people together, brother with brother, families with the families, tribes with tribes, country with country. And the believer's desire is the world lives in peace, and they actually do. So this is a lesson there as well. So the lesson, beautiful relationship there is the masjid, that one small masjid or prayer place in the Bustan al-Mustazil is giving us two lessons, because the Prophet Islam, what he did, to taught them the prayer and the worship of Allah and having good and beautiful, sincere, pure relationship with Allah and beautiful relationship with the creation of Allah by bringing them together. And this is whole of the summary of the deen. This is the summary of the Sunnah. If someone says to you, what is Sunnah? There are millions of Sunnah. But if you can put it in 2 words, 2 sentences, all Sunnah is 2 things. Having beautiful, sincere relationship with the Creator and beautiful relationship with the creation. All other Sunnah come under that. All of them. If you understood that, you understood whole of the Sunnah, which are spread in hundreds and thousands of ahadith. Because they are going to fall under one of them, actually, because the way shown by the Prophet ﷺ, Sunnah is the way shown by the Prophet ﷺ. And I mentioned to you, to understand, someone understands Sunnah, miswak only. So that unfolds under, because that is also, you are cleaning your teeth, so when you say do zikr, Allah likes cleanliness. You do zikr, angels like cleanliness. People like cleanliness, they don't like smelly people. So they must actually, so it's a creation of Allah. You are having a relationship with better with the creation and the Creator. Similarly, whatever other sunnahs are libas, that you are covered, that is haya, Allah likes haya, people like haya. They don't like actually nude people walking all around here and there. Every nation have some kind of level of modesty. There can be a different one for everyone. Islam has its own standard. All the sunnahs, you can think about anything. So this is understanding of sunnah. Sunnat ko samjhe, sunnat kya hai? Sunnat hai अल्लाह के साथ एक खूबसूरत हसीन ताल्लुक़ व मखलूक के साथ भी अच्छा ताल्लुक़. बस ये सारी सुन्नतें इसके नीचे आ जाती हैं. All the prophetic life is comprises of that. बस यही नबी अलैहिस्सलाम ने आते ही ये मैसेज दे दिया उधर. And then after that he also brought people. Now these, when Aus and Khazraj became Muslim and they became one, they became reconciled, they were known as Ansar now. So this word which you hear now, Ansari Sahabiya, Ansar did this, the helpers of Medina, this means both of these tribes, Aus and Khazraj. Still they used to use their name Khazraji, a person from Aus and Rasulullah. So Asad bin Zurara radiallahu anhu was a very, very beloved companion of the Prophet ﷺ. And they are, Rasulullah ﷺ, when he came, he only lived for 6 months. Hazrat Asad bin Zurara, who became such a means of goodness, but he only had the time to spend with the Prophet ﷺ 6 months. And that was also in war, and actually there was that era. So this means he did not have a long time to spend. Prophet ﷺ loved him very much. He was the first person to be buried in Jannatul Baqi. And Prophet ﷺ was picking him up, leading him his funeral, giving him ghusl, kafan, janaza, everything. Even Rasulullah ﷺ overtook him. He had daughters, 3 daughters, and he said, I leave them with the Prophet ﷺ. So Rasulullah ﷺ took full responsibility, and they were also brought up in the house of the Prophet ﷺ or under his supervision, and he was the one who looked after and married them actually to the whole. Because it was Asad bin Zurara was his sahabi, his friend, and also his very much of his beloved. When he was ill, Prophet ﷺ prayed for him, but his death had approached. So this was a very beloved companion who we also are indebted to, because it is due to him Prophet ﷺ came to Medina to Munawwara. He was the one who invited him, and he only had 6 months. So this means this life is short. No one, even the companions, did not have enough time to spend with the Prophet ﷺ. They wanted to spend more time. They only had 6 months. So this life is short. The real life is coming, where you can be gathered with the Prophet ﷺ forever and ever and ever. That is the life. Even those people who lived in the time, they did not have more than 10 years, 20 years, 30 years to spend. So there are many, many lessons. Inshallah, I will be touching upon them again somehow when we have time. And also, there's a place called in Madinatul Munawwara, between the mimbar and the house of the Prophet ﷺ, al-Jannah. al-Jannah means garden of Jannah. Prophet ﷺ said, Ma bayna bayti wa mimbari, that whatever the piece of land between me and is al-Jannah. It's garden of Jannah. Like he alayhi salatu wasalam also said, the halaqas of zikr are also gardens of Jannah. वही सिर्फ रियाजुल जन्ना ने, वो तो है ही है. नबी अलैहिस्सलाम ने सहाबा से फरमाया कि जब when you come across the gardens of Jannah, take your share. They said, what is the garden? फरमाया majalis of zikr. But that place, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, also because all the time there was zikr there. All the time zikr was happening, 5 prayers, Prophet ﷺ sitting there. So that permanently became Riyadul Jannah. We are doing zikr, that's temporal Riyadul Jannah, meaning actually until we are doing zikr. So people are very fond, and they should be, of going there, offering whatever. But what is the purpose of Riyadul Jannah? One person asked me, or I asked him as well, okay, that you go in Riyadul Jannah, what have you achieved? He said, I offered 2 nafal. You can offer that anywhere in the masjid, but what is the actual purpose of that visit? When you go in Riyadul Jannah, what is the actual thing you should have achieved? Nafal you can actually read anywhere. He said, well, no one told me any zikr or something to do special. They said, there is something special which probably Islam indicated. Hey, what is that? Well, please tell me, and next time I will go, I will do. I said, the purpose of Riyadul Jannah is that you have gone into Jannah. You have entered Jannah, garden of Jannah. Now the purpose of that is that it's being indicated that once you are in Jannah, now you are a Jannati person. Now you are a heavenly person. Now you should not have the traits of evil and hellish traits and hellish quality. And what are the traits of people of Jannah? The heart is free from malice, hatred, animosity, or jealousy. Or do people of Jannah have this? No. So, well, that's what the lesson for you. The once you are there, read nafal not, but take this dirt out. Because you have, in Riyadul Jannah, now it doesn't suit you. If you have these things whilst there, same thing is going to happen what happened to Shaitan. He was in Jannah, he had this, and look what happened. Second is that Prophet Islam said the Ahlul Jannah have certain habits, certain traits, certain conduct. What is? They return evil with goodness. If someone behaves in a bad way, they return with goodness. That is what should be in you now. People should know. They forgive. They easily forgive people when they ask forgiveness or they do some mistake, they easily. They plan good for people even though people plan bad for them. Even people wish bad for them, they wish good for them. And so these 3 traits. So I said, once you are out of there, people should know when you go back home that you come from Jannah. You are a heavenly person. And if you are same old hellish traits you bring, what is the purpose? Then Shaitan is also like this. He can say, I stayed in Jannah for thousands of years. You only been there 10 minutes or so, half an hour. And not seen anything as such as he has seen, but just those traits. So understand the purpose, the maqsad. जैसा नमाज का मकसद है, रोज़े का मकसद है, हज का मकसद है, कलमे का मकसद है, रियाजुल जन्नत का मकसद है कि अब आप ये जन्नती जो भी देखे बोला भाई ये तो लगता है रियाजुल जन्नत से होकर आया है. It seems this person have been there. लोगों को recognize हो जाए कि तो उनको पता ही नहीं कि आप हो के आए या नहीं आए. तो क्या मतलब यानी उसका फिर फ़ायदा, फिर वो मकसद उसने हासिल ना किया. He has not achieved the purpose. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala enable me and yourself to act, and also us to visit those places and learn and internalize these lessons again and again and again until soon or later we are their call going to come from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah will call everyone to account to His blessed presence, and if you are prepared, it will be the happiest day of your life. That was the Prophet Islam said, Al-Mautu tuhfatul mu'min. Disbelievers, they hate death. They don't want to die. For a believer, it is the greatest gift because it is the door to eternal, to forever peace and kingdom and life forever and free from all, actually, you may say, tests and things. When a person comes out of exam, they're happy that they are out. Now it's a time of enjoyment. It's a time to take the wage. So inshallah, at the end now you will also have the opportunity to do ziyarah of those people have been there or not been the Kaaba Sharif. ये थोड़ा line में दिखा दूँ एक दफ़ा इनको. So after the zikr majlis, anyone can come and do the ziyarah to see, because it's all about asar and you may say places. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. Allahumma. Okay, नीचे रखो. ये पकड़े लो. चलो मैं भी खड़ा हो जाऊँ, ये सब निकलना चाहिए. So this is the Kaaba Sharif Gulaf, mashallah. For you, mashallah. So आप ज़ियारत भी कर सकते हैं बाद में, इंशाल्लाह. ये बात कर सकते हैं. हाँ चलो, बाद में प्लीज लगाते हैं. हाँ ठीक है, अभी पे बजल से जिक्र के लिए ये रख दो. ये उधर ही रख.
Jazakallah khair for the insightful nasiyah by Hazrat Saab. And as Hazrat Saab said, really, that death is a reality and it is facing us. So now that we know that, what are we going to do about it? Are we going to stay asleep? Or are we going to do something about it? And if you do want to do something about it, there is a course offered at this centre, the purification course. And all I'm going to ask is 10 to 15 minutes of your time towards the end of this majlis, where we can sit somebody down with you and give you the introduction to the course. This really is a practical thing you can do to face that reality. And if brothers wish to stand up, let some blood flow. And they can also move forward as well, because there's people who need to get in at the back. Existing brothers can also give their names in for those who need a review. Again, we should always have regular reviews, and really please do give your names in to myself, and we can liaise with that. And if any person requires any kind of healing, be that spiritual, mental, physical, again, please give your names in to myself. So if brother just move slightly forward, and again we stay in the same mindset for the zikr, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is with me, He can see me and He can hear me. Remember, this is a loud zikr, so don't feel shy, and really again focus and correct your intention. And those who have the permission to the muraqabah, they can obviously do that as well. Jazakallah khair.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين. إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين. اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد. إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما. مولاي صل وسلم دائما أبدا. مولاي صل وسلم دائما أبدا. مولاي صل وسلم دائما أبدا على حبيبك خير الخلق كلهم. على حبيبك خلق كلهم. مولاي صل وسلم دائما أبدا. مولاي صل وسلم دائما على حبيبك خير الخلق محمد سيد الكونين والثقلين والفريقين من عرب ومن عجم. مولاي صل وسلم أبدا. مولاي صل وسلم دائما أبدا على حبيب خلقكم. هو الحبيب الذي ترجى شفاعته لكل حول من الأهوال مقتطع. لكل حول لا إله إلا الله. لا إله إلا الله. لا إله إلا الله. لا إله إلا الله. لا إله إلا الله.
سبحان الله والحمد لله ولا إله إلا الله والله أكبر سبحان الله والحمد لله ولا إله إلا الله والله أكبر سبحان الله والحمد لله ولا إله إلا الله والله أكبر سبحان الله والحمد لله ولا إله إلا الله والله أكبر سبحان الله والحمد لله ولا إله إلا الله والله أكبر لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم سبحان الله والحمد لله ولا إله إلا الله والله أكبر ولا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم سبحان الله والحمد لله ولا إله إلا الله والله أكبر ولا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله لا إله إلا الله الملك الحق المبين 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 لا إله إلا الله 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 الملك الحق المبين لا إله إلا الله الملك الحق لبيك اللهم الحمد والنعمة لك والملك لا شريك لك لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك إن الحمد والنعمة لك والملك لا شريك لك لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك إن الحمد والنعمة لك والملك لا شريك لك رب اغفر وارحم وأنت خير الراحمين 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 أنت خير الراحمين أنت خير الراحمين أنت خير الراحمين يا أرحم الراحمين يا أرحم الراحمين يا أرحم الراحمين رب اغفر وارحم وأنت خير الراحمين رب اغفر وارحم
करम कर दे फजल कर दे मुझ पे मौला तू दर पे तेरे आया हूँ बस लेके आरज़ू करम कर दे फजल कर दे मुझ पे मौला तू दर पे तेरे आया हूँ बस लेके आरज़ू अल्लाह अल्लाह तू ही तू हर सू मोला तू ही तू हर सू मोला अल्लाह अल्लाह तेरी है सारी अकबर अल्लाहु अकबर अल्लाहु अकबर अव्वल है तू और है तू ही आखिर अल्लाहु अकबर अल्लाहु अकबर तेरी है अब्र रहमत आला अरफा
روشن منور، باطن ہے تو اور ہے تو ہی ظاہر، اللہ اکبر اللہ اکبر۔ رحمان سبحان حنان منان، مومن مہیمن عزیز اور جبار، مالک ہے تو اور ہے تو ہی ناصر، اللہ اکبر اللہ اکبر۔ ازل سے ہے تو اور دائم ہے مولا، صفات تیری اعلیٰ اکبر، اللہ اکبر اللہ اکبر۔ چاہیں تعریف تیری کر نہ سکیں گے، انسان جن اور ملک سارے مل کر، اللہ اکبر اللہ اکبر۔ زمین اور قلم ہو یہ شجر، دریا سیاہی خلق سارے مل کر، لکھ نہ سکیں گے ذرہ برابر، اللہ اکبر اللہ اکبر۔
فضل کر دے مجھ پہ مولا تو، در پہ تیرے آیا ہوں بس لے کے آرزو، کرم کر دے فضل کر دے مجھ پہ مولا تو، در پہ تیرے آیا ہوں بس لے کے آرزو۔
ہے مہربان اپنے بندوں پہ کتنا، رحمت سے تیری چلتا پتا ہے، عنایات ہیں تیری ایک ایک سے بڑھ کر، اللہ اکبر اللہ اکبر۔ تھا انسان بنایا، محبت کو تیری سمجھ یہ نہ پایا، تو نے ہے چاہا ہمیں ہم سے بڑھ کر، اللہ اکبر اللہ اکبر۔ معافی کے طالب ہیں آج ہم سب. تو معاف کرتا ہے حد سے بھی بڑھ کر. اللہ اکبر اللہ اکبر. صفات تیری قدیم اور منور، قدوس تو میری سوچوں سے بڑھ کر ہے. حمد تجھ کو اللہ اکبر اللہ اکبر اللہ اکبر. مدحت سے تیری ہو معذور و قاصر، تو ہے عظیم اور حافظ و ناصر. صفات تیری اعلیٰ و اکبر اللہ اکبر اللہ اکبر. کی خاطر تھا انسان بنایا. دباغ تیری ہے رحمت کا مظہر. اللہ اکبر اللہ اکبر.
فضل کر دے مجھ پہ مولا تو، در پہ تیرے آیا ہوں بس لے کے آرزو. کرم کر دے فضل کر دے مجھ پہ مولا تو، در پہ تیرے آیا ہوں بس لے کے آرزو. اللہ اللہ
استغفر اللہ استغفر اللہ الذي لا إله إلا هو الحي القيوم وأتوب إليه. أستغفر الله أستغفر الله الذي لا إله إلا هو الحي القيوم وأتوب إليه. أستغفر الله الذي لا إله إلا هو الحي القيوم ظالم لنفسه لا يملك لنفسه موتا ولا حياة ولا نشورا اللهم صل على سيدنا ومولانا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه وسلم اللهم صل على سيدنا ومولانا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه وسلم اللهم صل على سيدنا ومولانا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه وسلم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين اللهم ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم وتقبل صلاتنا ودعانا وحاجتنا وجميع عبادتنا يا أرحم الراحمين كما تقبلت من الأنبياء والصديقين والشهداء والصالحين اللهم اكفنا بحلالك عن حرامك وأغننا بفضلك عمن سواك يا مصرف القلوب صرف قلوبنا على طاعتك يا مقلب القلوب ثبت قلوبنا على دينك یا رب العالمین یا ارحم الراحمین اپنے فضل و کرم و احسان سے ہم گناہگاروں پر رحم فرما ہم میں سے جو نیک ہیں ان کے صدقے میرے جیسے گناہگاروں کی بھی مغفرت فرما یا رب العالمین جس مقصد کے لیے تو نے دنیا میں بھیجا ہے اس مقصد کو جاننے سمجھنے کی توفیق عطا فرما اپنی پہچان نصیب فرما اپنے حبیب علیہ السلام کی معرفت نصیب فرما ہمیں اپنے نفس کی حقیقت کی بھی معرفت نصیب فرما دنیا کی حقیقت اور معرفت نصیب فرما شیطان کی پہچان نصیب فرما کہ وہ ہمارا دشمن ہے اور یا ارحم الراحمین ہمیں آخرت کی پہچان دنیا کی پہچان اور مختلف جتنے فتنے ہیں ان سے محفوظ فرما یا رب العالمین یا ارحم الراحمین ہم اس دنیا میں آ کے اصل مقصد کو بھول گئے ہمیں واپس یا رب العالمین جانا ہے یا ارحم الراحمین تیری ہی طرف رجوع کرتے ہیں واپس آتے ہیں لوٹتے ہیں توبہ کی امید کے ساتھ مغفرت کی امید کے ساتھ یا ارحم الراحمین ہم پر رحم فرما یا رب العالمین یا ارحم الراحمین اپنے فضل و کرم و احسان سے ہم نے یہ جتنی باتیں سنیں جتنی پاک جگہیں دیکھیں یا رب ان کے فیوزات نصیب فرما کعبہ شریف کی برکت کا فیض ہمیں نصیب فرما کہ ہمارے زندگی کا مقصد ہمارا رخ درست ہو جائے صحیح کی برکات کی وجہ سے اپنی بارگاہ میں اپنے قرب میں اپنی رضا کی طرف کوشش اور مجاہدے کی توفیق عطا فرما یا ارحم الراحمین جس طرح زمزم کو تو نے برکت والا پانی بنایا، یا ارحم الراحمین ہمیں بھی اپنے ذکر اور شکر اور حسن عبادت کے اور معرفت کے پانی سے منور فرما، اپنی محبت سے منور فرما، اپنے حبیب علیہ السلام کی محبت سے، صحابہ اکرام اہل بیت اطہار کی محبت سے، اولیاء اللہ کی اور نیک اعمال کی محبت سے منور فرما۔ یا ارحم الراحمین ہمیں بھی ان لوگوں میں داخل فرما کہ جن کا تعلق تجھ سے اخلاص پر مبنی ہے اور اچھا ہے اور مخلص ہے اور احسن ہے۔ یا ارحم احسان والی عبادت کی توفیق عطا فرما۔ یا ارحم الراحمین نبی علیہ السلام سے بھی ہمارا تعلق مضبوط اور یا ارحم الراحمین قوی اور وہ ہمارے ایمانوں میں اضافہ فرما۔ اپنی مخلوق کے ساتھ بھی ہمیں شفقت اور رحمت اور والا معاملہ کرنے کی توفیق عطا فرما۔ تو ہم پر رحم فرما، ہمیں دوسروں پر رحم کرنے کی توفیق عطا فرما۔ تو ہمیں عطا فرما، ہمیں دوسروں میں تقسیم کرنے والا بنا۔ یا ارحم الراحمین حرص و لالچ، بغض و حسد جتنی برائیاں ہیں ان سے محفوظ فرما۔ یہ جو ہاتھ تیرے سامنے اٹھے ہیں دنیا کے سامنے اٹھنے سے ان کو بچا۔ یہ جو سر تیرے سامنے جھکتا ہے ان کو دنیا شیطان نفس کے سامنے جھکنے سے محفوظ فرما۔ یہ جو زبان تیرا ذکر کرتی ہے اس کو غیبت و چغلی اور خوش آمدیں کرنے کے یا رب العالمین محفوظ فرما۔ یہ جو جسم تیری اطاعت میں ہے اس کو اپنی ہی بندگی میں مشغول فرما۔ جب موت کا وقت آئے یا ارحم الراحمین اپنے فضل و کرم سے ہمیں ایمان کے ساتھ دنیا سے رخصت ہونے کی توفیق عطا فرمانا، کلمہ نصیب فرمانا، سجدے والی نیکی والی اپنے رستے والی موت نصیب فرمانا، شہادت والی موت نصیب فرمانا۔ جتنے حاضرین آئے ہیں یا سن رہے ہیں، مرد ہیں، عورت ہیں، بچے ہیں، بڑے ہیں، سب کی جائز حاجات کو پورا فرما، سب کی ضرورتوں کو پورا فرما، جائز خواہشات کو پورا فرما، پریشانیوں کو دور فرما، بیماروں کو شفا نصیب فرما، اولادوں کو ماں باپ کا فرما مردار بنا، ہر میاں بیوی میں اتحاد، اتفاق، الفت، جگانگت پیدا فرما، دشمنی سے ہمیں محفوظ فرما، شیطان کے شر سے محفوظ فرما۔ جن پر کوئی جادو ٹونا ہے کہ برے اثرات ہیں یا اللہ ان کی حفاظت فرما، ان کو شفا نصیب فرما۔ جن کو نظر لگ چکی ہے ان کے نظر کے شر سے محفوظ فرما۔ یا ارحم الراحمین ہم میں سے جن کے والدین زندہ ہیں ان کو لمبی زندگیاں صحت جسمانی روحانی کے ساتھ عطا فرما، اور یا ارحم جن کے والدین وفات پا گئے ان کی مغفرت فرما، برزخ میں ان کے درجات کو بلند فرما۔ یا رب العالمین جتنے بھی دوست احباب رشتہ دار ہمارے جاننے پہچاننے والے دینی دوست طریقے تو یا تعلق جو تیری ذات کے لیے سب کی مغفرت اور بخشش فرما۔ یا ارحم الراحمین ذکر اور شکر اور حسن عبادت نصیب فرما، حسن اخلاق نصیب فرما، حسن خاتمہ نصیب فرما، حسن معاملہ اور رزق حلال اور صدق مقال نصیب فرما۔ وصلی اللہ علی النبی الامی وعلی آلہ وصحبہ وسلم تسلیما آمین رب العالمین۔
لاکھوں درود اور لاکھوں سلام، لاکھوں درود اور لاکھوں سلام، جنوں ملائک تیرے غلام، جنوں ملائک تیرے غلام، لاکھوں درود اور لاکھوں سلام۔ اتنا کرم تو